And then Cody's blah. Like, we were like, dude, we actually have a moment where we can use a blah. That's so sick. Both of those together. And then you just add some delays on there. It's so cliche and generic, but there's a reason why it's cool. Today we're going to dive into the studio breakdown session of what made The Love You Took Away, one of our heavier songs on the record. So this song originally started out as a song that my friend Zach Cash wrote, and then he wasn't going to use it. So he was like, yo, I have this cool Slipknot-y type song. Do you want to use it? And he showed it to me, and I said, this is really cool. Let me see what I can do with it. So then I added the Vox touch to it, and we got it to a point where we're like, yeah, let's use this for a villain of the story song. It was originally going to be a solo song back when Logan was still in the band and we had our album planned out. But then when he left and we were like, okay, let's scrap those 4 singles that we put out, make those standalone. Now we need new songs to replace them on the record. I'm like, well, Broken Promises and The Love You Took Away were songs I had on deck to release just as solo stuff, because the consensus was these were a little too heavy for the direction we were going. So I think it all worked out, because I think this song, The Love You Took Away and Broken Promises, are great, and they are the most streamed. Well, I mean, I guess face it. I feel like I could try and find the original demo. I'm sure that might be interesting for you to hear. Rhino Fiesta was the very first demo name that I gave it before I had any concept. Okay, so this is pretty similar to Zach's original song. So him and the guy, Michael, they wrote an instrumental. I took it and I pretty sure I just had his stems, and then I put, like, at the time, my drum tone, my guitar, my demo session tones on it. Pretty sure in this first bounce ever, it was, I think maybe I did some arrangement edits. I don't remember, but I do remember the beginning being very, very different. Like, I came up with the whole intro that's actually in the song later. Okay, yeah, I did redo these drums, because I remember the was my drum fill that I had, because that was a very Slipknot sounding drum fill to have. I'm like, oh, it has to have it. So some of the drums and the kick patterns I beefed up a little bit to make it more aggressive sounding. So like that drum fill I completely changed later. And then that, I wanted it extended, because I felt like it needed a little bit more breathing room. So I purposely stretched that section. I think it was just on hi-hat. I changed it to a ride because I thought it made it sound more mean. It's like the bulk of it's there, but I really bossified the drums. Yeah, adding like a pause there. I remember changing that. So I think besides the drums, everything else is feeling like the original idea that Zach had. Yeah, yep. So this is before I had the idea of changing this. The original structure went right into the verse again. Yeah, I really like this build-up, but the breakdown didn't go in a direction that I wanted it to. Was it? So it had like a cool build up, but it was only a few bars, and then immediately went into a riffy breakdown. So originally, when I was just doing my first pass through on it, like I just changed some of the drums, and then when the breakdown hit, I added like more metalcore sounding kicks to make it more aggressive sounding. But it was in later revisions, I'm like, dude, this, like, it needs like a big breakdown. So we really need to build it up, stretch that out, and then have a whole breakdown, and then go into that riffy part. Because like, it's cool, but it needed something else. And then this was the original. It's just a kick drum and a piano. So that was the original. That laying the foundation. Now we'll be able to hear like the drastic changes that I made. So the beginning, in my head, I wanted something big and like kind of anthemic in a heavy way. So I really liked this guitar lead right here. So in the original version of this song, this was just a guitar lead that's in the background under this section, I think. So it's just like an octave, like on the third string or something instead of the low string. It essentially follows the rhythm, but that was a guitar lead that's layered in there. And when we got to the breakdown, I wanted something kind of icky, nasty sounding. So I had the idea of pitch shifting this lead up an octave. I don't know if it was 1 or 2 octaves, but I pitched it up really high and added extra distortion to it. And that's how we got this sound. And then when we got to the mixing phase, it was not really sitting in this intro very well. So I think we took like a phaser and some panning. You can almost see it on the waveform here. Pans to one side. And then goes to the middle. Just to give it a little bit of movement. It's very, very subtle that you don't even really notice it when the vocals come in, but I wanted there to be something so not everything was so up the middle. Yeah, so that's all that is, pitch shifted lead. And then I just heard this groove in my head, but it sounded really weird if it was just on regular drums. So I was like, okay, if we can make like the drums, but we add a lot of room sound and reverb just to make it ooh. Because again, this isn't the mixing session, so it's not the same sound as the actual recording, but I think you can hear that. Like that's all layered in with the actual kick. Just keep it simple on the China too. And then this is like where, like, when we play it live, where the real drums would come in. And then it was also like adding that extra floor or just kick drum on the beat to give it almost more of a headbanger groove. So that fill is in the main breakdown of the song too. So I really wanted to hear it twice, but it was almost giving, I'm not super into Knock Loose. I don't know too much of their stuff, but from what I do know of them, that was the vibe that I was after. And it was kind of giving Knock Loose energy, in my opinion. Yeah, and then we had to have that hi-hat in there. It's just like on the foot pedal. But before we move into that part, in the background here on tracks, I think it's just ambience. We got a slam, yeah, bass drop, slam, splash, another bass drop, riser, and then an extra one shot of like a reverb snare, like our snare bomb sample that we use. Just this ambient pad thing. And I think I used, it's a Contact plugin. I think it's called Damage, where it's like industrial metal tones and hits, but there's like a rhythmic section or whatever. And I think it's just like, you can't just play like one note and it'll just like do something. If I remember correctly, I think the was the pad in there that had some distortion and crunch on it, and then it had like a built-in panning effect. And then I had another hit from Damage that was like, it was just like hi-hat, like a pattern that I mapped out. I heard like a deal, so I just added the hi-hats, lowered the velocities to give the, like as if a person was playing it, so it's not just all the same thing. And then I just baked both of those together, printed it, so that's like the ambient file in the background. And then when the vocals come in, we just have this little electronic kit. This whole file, electronic kit, that was already made by Zach and Michael. I think we even use it. We use it a lot throughout the song, especially this part. But yeah, the electronic kit in the background throughout the song, those were already stems from Zach and Michael's original song idea. And then I just put them in places that I thought they sounded cool. So then on vocals, I really wanted the vocals to be the same as the breakdown. So we already had the breakdown, the main breakdown of this song in there. And I'm like, it would be cool if during the breakdown, you're doing lyrics that are a callback to the intro of the song. So when I was done with that part, it was, okay, now we'll just do the same thing. We didn't copy paste them because I didn't want it to be the same delivery. I wanted it to be more aggressive and more pissed off sounding in the actual breakdown. So we did less layering and different takes for the vocals on the intro. My stomach grows as I approach the casket. This isn't fair. Life is so fucking tragic. I think on the breakdown he does it a little lower. From a studio post-production standpoint, we added in these delays here. The pain in my stomach grows as I approach the casket. This isn't fair. Life is so fucking tragic. Without those delays, kind of sounds empty. But I didn't want to just have the same vocal on the delay. So it's not necessarily a delay because it's a different vocal, but it's just on the delay throw because it's not supposed to be a main as far as volume and attention goes. But so I did a high scream layer with him. So we took his main vocal, duplicated that for the delay. I did a high scream layer, but then we printed those together to make a delay because I didn't really like how the delay sounded with just his main vocal on there. The little high scream layer that I added in there, I think, gives it a little bit of a different feeling. And then I wanted to yell in there, which that's the same take as the breakdown. But the breakdown, I'm pretty sure, is a little bit louder, more of a, it's not a main, but it's more audible, where this is just thrown on the delay send to be a background texture. This is where my layer came in. I feel so fucking tragic. Just on the ending of that part. So I feel like that's what made it sound bigger, because the breakdown is layered, I think, like the whole time, because it's already energetic and whatever, and I wanted this to be a building section, so we didn't want it to be too big. Oh, I suppose forgot to go on guitars here. We did the lead, but then what I heard in my head was a lo-fi guitar thing, which is what this is. Just kind of randomly thrown in there. Like, I feel it just adds a little bit of, oh, here we go. Picking up, it's picking up. Because if I took that away, it works, but just that little bit of trigger in the background, it's almost like, I don't know, I just you can feel the guitars are like, okay, here we go. You ready? Something heavy's coming. And then it goes in there. So the guitars are just doing some chugs. And then we just have the one guitar doing the riff on the side. Which is a riff later in the verse. So it's almost like a lot of these sections are using the same elements, but they're just being formed differently and utilized in a different context so that there's enough familiarity to make it glued together. Like this is the same song, but the sections are different to make it not repetitive and boring. And the bass is just doing what the guitar's doing. And then for this part, this transition piece, I really wanted not too much of a lo-fi effect on the guitar, but I wanted it to be a different tone than the regular rhythm. It's a little thinner, but it's not too thin. Then I had to cut it there for the vocals to come in, because if the riff would have just kept going, it wouldn't make it hit as hard. So cutting a little bit of tail end of the guitar riff to leave space for just vocals. Well, I guess technically it's not just vocals because the drums are in there too. But like I said, we already have that hi-hat there. If we took that out, it works. It still is cool, but literally the little on the hi-hat, I think, is what gives this so much energy. To me, it's like, oh, we're kind of picking up tempo a little bit. Even it's the same tempo, but the snare count is going to be faster. It's just dun 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 dun. It's kind of like the pace that you're getting used to. It's a little slower, a little groovier, but then this section with that hi-hat, double time. So it's like, oh, we're gonna go faster now. Okay. And we got this cool like phew sound effect. And then hard cut right at the end for the vocals. We toyed around with the idea of cutting the drums here. Well, I guess technically we're gonna cut these guitars too. But then I was almost thinking like, that's to me a little too predictable. Like a lot of bands do that, where it's like building into something, cuts, it's just vocals, boom, makes the thing hit hard. But I was like, no, I kind of wanna keep, because originally we had the drums and the guitars in here. But then we were playing with arrangement ideas like, oh, what if we cut that out? That I think the drums just add too much energy. And I didn't want it to be too big, so I didn't do a layer on the whole phrase. It was just when it hits. Just a cool groove under the riff. But then the second time around, I added more kick drum to give it a sense of progression. See, I loved going through and adding these kick drums. A little bit of energy. Then we also add in this guitar lead halfway through, so it's not just the same thing copy paste. Very simple. Kind of a cliche, generic metalcore lead. With that reverb tail I really liked for that next pause. Just have this layered in. Like an electronic snare. That. Remember from the original version, it was that, just only how many bars is this? It was 1, 2, 3, 4, and I made it into 8. So I just took this, like a really long bass drop. So this is the original file, I think. And I literally just stretched the audio twice as long. So it has a bad sound to it because it wasn't made in this tempo or to be that long. So forcing the audio to stretch that far gives it artifacts. But I liked how that sounded. It made it sound like intentional and kind of dirty. That too. That was a guitar pick for 1, 2, 3, 4. Wanted the next part. But I wanted a little bit of space to breathe because it's been such a crazy song already. It was already heavy, and then it got really fast. I'm like, okay, hold on. Before we get even more crazy, let's give a little bit of a breather here. So I wanted eight counts, stretch that to give it like a cool sound. You pair in that cool bass drop sound. And I love the little that's obviously in the original, but when it's as fast as it originally was, you don't really hear the rhythm in there. But when you stretch it out, and you can even see it in the waveform here, there's like a pause in it that gets really exaggerated when you stretch it out. And I love that little bit of motion. And then it hits. And then vocally, a lot of vocals here. So we did gang vocals, which this was actually really fun. We did all the gang vocals as a band for this whole record. On Face It, for the gang vocals, we also had our wives and girlfriends all in the same room too. But for the rest of the gang vocals on the album was a different day. So it was cool to like have everybody in the band do gang vocals. Normally it was just like me and Logan doing it together, and then we did it like 30 times to get the sense of a group of people. But it was actually all 5 of us currently, and then in a room, and we did it like 10 times. Sounds really cool. And to me, I can hear Cody Pauly's vocal in there the most because he was closest to the microphone. And we wanted tears here just to like kind of accentuate that part of the phrasing. Like, it's cool, but that little bit of and you can see notably on the waveform too, it's way quieter. We didn't want it to be gang vocal because that next part is loud and gang vocals. We wanted that to be the focus, but this part I felt like needed a little bit of energy because it was almost like if you're playing it live, nothing for me. No. I think that'd be a cool part. So just adding in a little bit of gang vocals. And then that ending of that phrase really needed a layer, but we got this layer. While you cry, that you're not a fucking monster. We got a high, and I think a low or a mid. Fucking monster! Not a fucking monster! I love mine and Cody's screams together, but our tones together I think are just sick. That was a fun line to record. I'll catch your fucking yard out! I think we got another low. I'll catch your fucking yard out! Oh, but that one's from Cody, so that he was in there too. Hell yeah. I'll catch your fucking yard out! And then, so, this is how it was. But I was like, it's missing a little bit of something. A little bit of sauce. I'm like, wait, how about we just duplicate that lyric and do like a shifter on the scream. I think it sounds sick. And to get like these big high screams, we have a main, but then we also layer it with another high pitch. So this is just the screams in the middle. My brother Aaron was intentional! And then these are on the sides. My brother Aaron was intentional! So it's not the exact same vocal take duplicated. It's me just doing another high scream, but just trying to do it the exact same way. But the subtle differences are what's going to make it sound wider. So one more time without the layers. Fuck your remorse! Fuck your remorse! My brother Aaron was intentional! As a little bit more width and aggression. And then we had these delay throws. I really think changing the drums to being on the ride with the high screams, like those two elements together are what give this the energy that it has. I think I'm hearing extra production stuff here. There's like this metal clink. So I think this. So it's this on the guitars is pretty much the same thing as the next section, but the part that makes the next section a little heavier is adding the pause. And then we wanted to add snare bombs on a little bit of this next part just to give it some more space over these like pauses in the guitars and bass. God, it's so heavy. Love it. There's so many just like oh, so we do have a bass synth going on underneath this section. Like a, almost, yeah, like a gritty synth. So it kind of sounds like a bass, kind of sounds like a guitar. It's like a high mid, layered in with a low. Yeah, dude. And we got these layers on there. And that was he like doing it so intensely to get the delivery that I'm like, I can't do this all in one breath. No way. This was supposed to be like the layer. A little bit of lower pitch on that one, but then we also have this. Just try to go like as deathcore as I could. And then Cody's blah. Like we were like, dude, we actually have a moment where we can use a blah. That's so sick. Both of those together. And then you just add some delays on there. It's so cliche and generic, but there's a reason why it's cool and everyone does it. Like adding that pause on the drums for nothing and then blah when it comes in, dude. Oh my god. And then the obligatory, I don't know how to say that word. Ding on the drums. Ding. I really like that arrangement, like vocal phrasing and drums. They really played off each other for this moment. Like pray to your God, and that pause. The drums get to like shine for just a second, so it's not competing with the vocal. Pray to your God, pray for. These layers were sick. Pray to your God and beg for forgiveness. Pray to your God, beg for. And I didn't want layers on the and. I wanted that to be just one vocal. Because it isn't even really a scream, it's just like building into a scream. So I didn't want to have like a bunch of voices on the sides for that part. For forgiveness. Kind of like a more open throat scream. Pray to your God, beg for forgiveness. And then on just the last bit here, I wanted extra oomph. Pretty much went as high as I could. Yeah, it's like a little bit little higher. All right, chorus time. Let's start with the tracks. So a little riser to bring you into the chorus. We got this piano melody. Which is what the guitars follow. And then, so that was something that Zach and Michael already had. Then I added this choir. So I think, I don't remember what the phrase was in the choir pack. It was like, it was like some sort of like Latin thing. But then I pitch shifted it or format shifted it down just to give it like an effect. And then to give the chorus a sense of progression on the second half of the chorus, I added this. And this was really fun to make because I was like, oh, something else needs to go here. Thinking like a rhythmic thing, but it can't be too big because it's such a busy chorus that I don't want like reverbs or like anything massive. So I want it to be like a little lighter, but like, so then I found like this cool like antique xylophone, I think, sound. And then I just added chorus and other effects, like really fast delay or something to give it a weird sound. And this was a cool thing too. Technically, that's the first note of the chorus. But I wanted to bring it in to the next part. So I pasted it on the entire chorus, but then automated volume into the next part. Yeah, there's like a shimmer on the delays too. So that's everything going on under the chorus for tracks. Drums is a freaking vibe. Just going hard on the ride. All the little splash hits too. Like actually pretty intricate, which is really what was making me think of Slipknot too. I'm like, okay, I really want to be like, I really wanted it to be like as if Joey Jordison off the All Hope Is Gone record era Slipknot. So I didn't want to repeat the same dun dun ka dun dun ka. Wanted to be a little more intricate. Boom boom dun dun. There's a little bit of different vibe. So the drums are really fun for the chorus. Pretty sure the guitars are just yeah. So just following that piano basically. Okay, and then vocals. This was fun to produce because I really had to like get Cody Crook to be in the headspace of losing something, losing someone, to give him to get like the right like I lost something and I'm mad about it delivery.
I've never felt this way inside.
Like I wanted him to be a little more loose, not as technical, like a tone.
I've never felt this way inside, and I don't know if this is ever gonna go away.
Like always extra vibrato and stuff. Then we got a dub.
I've never felt this way inside, and I don't know if this is ever gonna go away.
Then we got a left.
I've never felt this way
right.
inside, and I don't know if this is ever gonna go away.
You put all those together.
I've never felt this way inside, and I don't know if this is ever gonna go away. My shadow has nowhere to hide.
Hide.
My shadow has nowhere to hide.
Like he's the way he was getting the vowels to come out. I'm like, that's the vibe I want.
There's nowhere to hide.
But then we didn't have a harmony originally. And then when we were about to send it over for mixing, I was like, wait, I feel like I hear a harmony in here, needs a harmony. So I just took one of his takes that we didn't use and made a harmony out of it.
My shadow has nowhere to hide.
So without the harmony,
My shadow has nowhere to hide.
it's fine. But you add it in there.
My shadow has nowhere to hide.
We have some distortion vocals on the beginning here.
I don't know if this is ever gonna go away.
And then I did some whispers. We only did it this one time, and then we decided not to do it, but I guess we left it in there.
And I don't know if this is ever gonna go away. I hate the thought of you, that feels right.
And I really wanted my screams in the chorus to be like extra distorted. And again, with the vocal delivery here.
And I don't getting hard to fight. It's taking over me.
And this harmony sounds really goofy.
It's taking over me.
But then I wanted to add a layer on this part.
It's taking over me.
And some extra distortion.
I need to see you play.
Then we got Cody with a raw. And then the delays. So this part, without these vocals, was starting to sound a little dull. Too long without something. I love the drums on this one. So this was really tricky to make. So I just took a vocal file, repeated it here, and then automated distortion, or like went through and actually on the grid like cut out certain parts, and so many effects went into getting this to sound the way it sounds. Like only one side. I took like and just a millisecond of air, and then I duplicated that a lot. So one side is the actual scream, and the other side is just because it's the same exact wave file for like a bar. And then I wanted the other side to do it, but I took a different part of the word where my pitch was a little higher on the vowel, and I moved that over and then duplicated that. So I like would take things from earlier and bring it back here, take things from here, put it ahead forward. And then I also automated a little drop. Sure. Like, it's basically like there was no idea. It was like this is what I want. It was like, this is a general concept. Let me just play around and see what comes out, and then you end up with something super random. Let me just duplicate this here, and I'll drag this here, but stretch this out, and then I'll go like this and automate that down. I was just kind of randomly going with it until I found something that sounded cool. Yeah, those brass are sick. Oh, what's this? Oh, I got a breath in there for some reason. We just got this electronic build in here, which I loved, and I'm like, okay, that's definitely got to go over the breakdown too. Got those metal hits again. So looking at the layering here, we have his main.
That I will never forgive you.
I wanted to layer on.
I will never forgive you.
Do the same thing, but a little higher, I think.
I will never forgive you.
But then on Just Forgive You,
Never forgive you.
I didn't want to go too high. I wanted to do a different pitch.
I will never forgive you.
Because that's what gives it the tone.
I
You don't always need to go super high and always go super low all the time.
will never forgive you. Fuck.
I need more coffee, so I'm gonna go grab some real quick. I'll be right back. Okay. All right. So this build up here, we got our riser going into it. Like a little. Then we got the kit from earlier, and the build up again. But then this is cool. This was already in Zach and Michael's original demo. I don't even know how they did that. It's a guitar noise, but I just added like a distortion filter over it. That's all I did. But it sounded sick. That's what really grabs your attention during this part. And then another pad or whatever from earlier, but it's just a different, not the exact same patch. Yeah, way different patch. It sounds cool. It almost sounds like machinery moving around and stuff. Especially you pair that with the guitar noise. And then I had to cut it right there because I really wanted emphasis on the vocals. Oh, there's a slight reverse there. Really make it hit the big breakdown. Oh yeah, because I think on the drums, like the crashes alone weren't cutting through the mix very well. So that's why we added that little. Without it, it's too dark. Because it's almost like scrape. I think it's a cymbal scrape. We have this. I took his same scream line and just added a tremolo, like stutter effect on it. And then I just slightly format shifted his vocal down. And then I was going for the Fallout by Crown the Empire. Or will you let darkness fly? Or wait, whatever the lyric is that builds into that breakdown. Or will you let darkness fall? I wanted to do like a pitch drop thing. Oh, dang. Okay, so these are the whispers that we got.
Deep within, I know that it won't bring me any peace, but
Peace. Really wanted to get the breath on there.
vengeance.
Right there too.
Vengeance.
I really like this too. This also gives Slipknot because one of the takes is vengeance. Like the way the laugh came out and the breath came out is a different timing unintentionally than the other take on the other side where it's like vengeance. It's like I almost did it reversed both takes. And then the breath right there. But it's only on one side. We added a pitch drop version.
Deep within, I know that it won't bring me any peace. By vengeance.
But we cut it there because there was too much breaths, and the laughs for some reason sounded too weird. Oh yeah, these gangs, dude. This was fun to do.
Help me sleep! Vengeance will help me sleep! Vengeance will help me sleep!
And then just my distortion highs.
Vengeance will help me sleep!
But then there's way too much going on, so we cut that hard and let these delays go through.
Vengeance will help me sleep!
This is where we got that lead from the intro. Little loaf, little chug in there. Yeah, so for this part, I didn't have anything here, but I think it sounded too empty. So then we just duplicated the guitar, but put the lo-fi effect on it. Like, it works, but adding that little bit of a lo-fi guitar in the background, I think really added a lot. Oh, this is the ambience from the intro.
My stomach grows as I approach the casket! The pain in my stomach grows as I approach the casket!
Little dry scream on there. But I really wanted to emphasize as I approach the casket.
As I approach the casket!
Without that one layer.
The pain in my stomach grows as I approach the casket!
Sounds cool, but you add that high layer there.
The pain in my stomach grows as I approach the casket! This isn't fair! This isn't fair! This isn't fair!
A little in the background, I think it adds a lot too. Really wanted Cody to go lower on this one versus on the intro. He just stayed the same pitch.
Life is so fucking tragic!
I feel like that also really sounded cool. It had more space for that low scream to just be front and center, but then you still have like that lo-fi guitar and the freaking drum groove on that part, dude. That was really fun to go do that pattern on the kick, and then on the next bar, instead of the kick, it's the snare. There we go. Now we got something new. I think it's playing the same note on one string and the other string, but because it's different strings, there's different tones. But then one of the strings you move up one fret, so now you get like a dissonant sound. Disgusting. Cool. Okay, we got different metal hits on this part. A little lower. And we got. Oh, so it's just the high end part from this one. You know, remember how I was saying how I printed those together to make the ambience? So it looks like just that high layer was added here. so this part, I bounced everything together because I had a lot of new elements here, and I just really liked the way I already had it sounding in my session. So I just bounced everything together, printed it, sent it to Sebastian. He just threw it in the mix. Remember from the original demo, it was just a kick drum and the piano. It was like that was the one part of the song that felt super weak. Felt like I got the idea, and it could have been cool just on its own. Like it's such a crazy song, and now it's so stripped and like raw. But I'm like, I feel like I want to add more production. I feel like that's my goal as a songwriter, is to like challenge myself to write more interesting things and try new sounds and everything. So it's basically elements from already. You have the chorus from the choir, the doo doo dee doo pluck thing from the chorus from the choir from the chorus, and you have the pluck thing from the chorus, and then that guitar noise thing from before the breakdown. But just like different filters to give it a different sound. And I automated EQ or something. Oh yeah, that little hit right there, that was an accident, but I loved it. It's because when I was copy pasting stuff to be in this part, it grabbed like a hit from the electronic kit or something, just the tail end of it. And when I pasted it, it was there. But I'm like, wait, that actually sounds really, really cool. It kind of adds a little extra like movement to it because it's right on the next measure. It's just so subtle. I love that. Then going into just piano, but we also have this like a boom. Then I really like this. That it's like a cinematic, like a bunch of toms. Really, really like how it, instead of it just hitting on the chorus, it's boom. Adds so much. Duplicated vocals with more pitch shifting effects. And whisper. And the big difference here is the drums went on the crash instead of the ride to make this chorus feel bigger than the last one. Then goes back on the ride. I loved that. Yeah, we did a melody change here. My shadow has nowhere to hide. And this harmony, getting it to match that. Oh, that one stayed the same because it's still harmonized with it. Right. My shadow has nowhere to hide. This harmony. It's taking over me. Yeah. Taking over me. We changed that one note, so the harmony needed to, because the original way didn't harmonize with it. So I needed to do a note that was a harmony, and it's so different that it sounds so robotic. Me. I tried to like format shift just that note to be a little darker, so it didn't cut through as harshly. But I really liked the meh. It's taking over me. It's. I was telling Cody, I'm like, dude, you got to perform it like you're, like through your teeth. You're just like, so mad. It's taking over me. And then it's just May was when he opened his mouth, but like for that beginning, it's all like through his teeth. It's taking over me. Love that. And then this delay, I love this delay. Like it sounds a little goofy on its own, but like the specific delay effect that Sebastian used, I just love. A little high end chink chink thing, it cuts through and it sounds so cool. Oh, what's this? There's like a little blip right here. It is just a. All right, well, that's in the final recording. Just barking. Does it really get cut off like that? All right, he must have accidentally cut the session too short because it's not how it ends. It was accidentally got cut off. Oh well. That's basically The Love You Took Away. I feel like I could go on and on and on about all these songs with the writing and how like my ideas and intention behind every little drum hit and everything. But then I would be here for like 4 hours. And if this is a studio production breakdown, it's like, here's the effects and here's the general idea that went into creating the song to sound the way it sounds versus like a breakdown of the writing itself. But yeah,